Welcome to our lesson on submitting an assignment in Paws using the Dropbox feature. Today we'll be talking about how to use all the options of the Dropbox feature of Paws so you'll be able to get your assignments turned in correctly and on time. The first thing we need to do is to log into Paws. Now that we're in the system, let's go to the global navigation bar and select a class that has an assignment due. In the middle of the page we see Assessment. Click on that link, and in the drop-down box that appears we see the Dropbox option. Click on Dropbox to open the Dropbox page for this class. Please note that this is only the Dropbox for this particular class. If you have assignments due in other classes, they will not be visible here. You have to navigate to those classes first to see their Dropboxes. As we can see, our assignments are laid out in grid format with the subheadings of folder, score, submissions, feedback, and due date. We will talk about each one of these in this lesson, but first let's discuss what we see here. You can see right under folder it says no category. Your instructor may put your assignments into different categories depending on certain criteria. For example, one category could be journal entries, and another could be chapter questions. This all depends on your instructor. Just be sure that you're aware of assignments in all the categories. But like I said, this class has no categories, so all the assignments will be in this single list. Starting from left and going right, the first item is the assignment folder. This tells you the name of the assignment, when it opens, which just means what time you're allowed to start on it. If the assignment due date is already passed, it will say closed, and it will show what date and time it was due. If the assignment is open and not past its due date, then the name of the assignment will be the only thing in the box, and it will be a blue link that you can click on. The second item is the score. Once you've turned your assignment in and it has been graded by your professor, then the score tells you your grade. The next item is submissions. This tells you how many times you've turned this assignment in. You might be saying to yourself, why would I ever turn it in more than once? Well, one example may be if you find out you answered a question wrong and need to make a change to your answers, there still may be time to turn in a revised copy, so you would turn the whole assignment in a second time. The next item is feedback. If your instructor has left feedback, then it will show up here as a dialog box with a View link beside it. I have feedback from my previous assignment submission, so I will click on View. This page shows me the files I have submitted for this assignment, my score, the date feedback was left, and at the bottom the actual feedback itself. My teacher thought I did a great job. If we click Done, it brings us back to our main Dropbox page. The last item is due date. This is when the assignments are due. Make sure you pay attention to these dates so you can get your assignments in on time. If we scroll to the bottom of the page, you can choose how many assignments you want to show up per page. As you can see, it's set to 20. If we had more than 20 assignments, then there would be options to go to a next page of assignments. I can change it to 10, and as you can see, there are now 2 pages of assignments. I can click on the arrow beside page to go to the next page, or I can use the drop down to choose which page I want to go to. Let's go back to page 1. If I click on this link, it will take me to the Submit Files page. On this page, it begins by telling me the name of the assignment folder. It then gives me instructions for the assignment. These are very important. Always read the instructions for the assignment. For this assignment, it tells me to open the file and follow the instructions in the assignment. Then save and upload the file to the Dropbox. The next item here is a link to the assignment file. When I click on it, I will either be asked where I want to save the file, or it may automatically download it to my default download location. I'm going to choose to save mine to the desktop and click Save. I can now open the file, and depending on where you open a file from, you may have to enable editing before you can actually type in the file. So be sure to click on the enable editing if that is required. I can now do my assignment. For the purposes of this example, I'll just type in some random information. And then, of course, click Save to save my work. The next thing that this page tells us is the start date and the end dates for our assignments. This tells us when the assignment became available to work on and when it will be due. The next item tells us what files we have attached to this folder that we want to submit. Currently, we have 0 files attached, but let's change that. I have the option to add a file or to record audio. For this example, I will add a file. When I click on Add a File, a dialog box comes up and it asks me to drop files here. Some internet browsers will allow you to drag and drop your files into this area. For example, I am using Google Chrome, and I can click on a file on my desktop and drag it into this window. As you can see, it now shows up in the window. But if you are using Internet Explorer 9 or higher, it may not work this way. The way that always works is to click on the Upload button. A file dialog box will appear. You can then browse for your file. Mine's on my desktop, so I click Desktop. And the one I want is assignment 1 lc.doc. I click on that, and then I click Open. As you can see, I now have 2 files in my files box. I don't need the first file, so I'll click on the X beside it to make it go away. If you accidentally put any files here you don't want to submit, you can click on the X beside them to get rid of them. Now that I have the file I want, I click on Add in the bottom left. Below my files, I can add a comment to this submission. This is just a message that we want to go with our file. I could say something like, "This is my assignment," or any details about the assignment that you want to share with your teacher. I'll put my answer to number 3 spilled over onto a second page. Just a detail about my assignment I think my professor needs to know. And when you're done with this and you have your file, be sure to click Submit. If you do not click Submit, then the file will not go to your teacher. You will now get a page with file upload results. If you uploaded your file successfully, it will say File Submission Successful. It will list all the basic assignment information, such as your username, the assignment folder, the instructions, any assignment files, the submitted file, any comments, the date you submitted, the file size, and whether an email was sent to you confirming your submission. From this page you can click Done if you're done submitting files. You can view the submission history for this assignment, or you can upload more files. If you click on Done, you'll be taken back to the Dropbox main page. Let's click on View History. If I view the history, it shows that I have submitted 2 files. The unopened letter icon means that neither file has been seen by my professor yet. If I wanted to view the submission history of any other assignments, I can click on the down arrow beside the folder, and it will give me a list that has all of my assignments. I'll choose the Meet and Greet and click Apply. I did not submit any files for this assignment, so it says no files have been submitted to this Dropbox folder. I could choose another one though that I did submit, the Librarian of Congress assignment, and click Apply, and it will show me the files that I submitted for this assignment. From the breadcrumb trail at the top, I can see that I can go back to my folder list. I'll click on that, and it will take us back to our main Dropbox page. If the submission went through, I can see that I have a new email alert at the top of the page. If I click on it, I see I have an email message in blue that has not been opened. That is my Dropbox submission receipt. Today we learned how to get to our class Dropbox page, how to view our assignments, and how to submit files. These are vital things to know in order to be able to participate in class and do your homework. As always, if you have any other questions, please contact the help desk at 901-333-4357. Or you can contact me at fmatthews@southwest.tn.edu.